Okay guys, we're going to be continuing with some more problems in compound interest, and I'm going to just continue where we left last time. What amount of money amounts to rupees 7717.5 in 1 year at 10% per annum compounded half yearly? So again, I will solve this, but I recommend that you take a piece of paper, a pencil, and try to work this out by yourself, because we solved questions involving rate and time before, and it's the exact same principle to solve this. So pause the video, try it out, and when you're done, come back. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get right to it. Let's see what we know. We don't know what the principle is, so I know that the rate is 10% per annum. My time is 1 year, and my amount is rupees 7717.5. Remember to, you have to add a 0 so that it's 2 decimals because it's money. Okay, so I think that's what we know. Okay, there's one more thing. It's compounded half yearly, so this should change stuff. Think about it. What happens is that the rate becomes 5%, and the time becomes 2. Okay, and now what you just have to do is plug it into the formula, which is A is equal to P times 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power of T. Okay, so I know that my amount is rupees 7717.5, which is equal to P I don't know, 1 plus 5 by 100 squared. So this is where we're at. Now you just have to finish it. So the first thing to do is 7717.5 with a P, 105 by 100 squared. So now just make a quick change. Divide both sides by 5. This is 20. This is 21. Okay, this is as far as we can go. Now we have to do some more math. 7707.5 17.5 is equal to P times 441 by 400. Okay, now all we have to do is cross multiply and we should get the answer. Do at least try this step yourself, but I'm going to continue on the next page. 7717, and I'm going to add the 5. I'm going to ignore the decimal point and just put a 10 here, because remember that this is the same as 77,175 divided by 10. Okay, and that's because this is this number, and this decimal point just shifts here when I divide it by 10. Okay, but now it's messing with my space, so I'm going to write it again. 77175 divided by 10, and to cross multiply, so 400 divided by 441, which is equal to the principal. So this is what I need to find. I can start by cancelling this and this, and now well, I face a difficult, let's see, 14, 15, 22, 27. Okay, so both sides are divisible by 3. Well, actually, both sides are divisible by 9. Okay, so 9 fours are 36, 8 81, and 9s are 81. Okay, and here 9 8s are 72, 51, 9 5s are 45, 67, 9 7s are 63, 45, 8 5 7 5. Yep, I think that's, yeah. Okay, now it should be, for this to work, it should be divisible by 7, so let me check. Yes, it is divisible by 7, which is great. So, this divided by 7 is 7, and this divided by 7 is 1, 15, 2, 17, 2, 35, 5. And I think this is, this is both are divisible by 7, which is great. This is 1, and that becomes, let me just write it down here. 7 1s are 7, 52, 7, 35, 5. So 175 times 40 is my principal. So see, 350, 7,000 rupees, 7,000 is my principal. So there we go. Yep, we figured it out. That's the answer to that question. Okay. So let's move quickly. I'm gonna do another question now. Okay, our next question is 10,000 rupees amounts to 11,342 rupees in 2 years at different interest rates. If the rate for the first year is 6%, find the rate for the second year. Okay, fairly straightforward. Let's start with what we know. I know the principal is rupees 10,000. I know that the amount is rupees 11,342. I know that the time is 2 years. Now, the tricky thing here is that there are two different interest rates. Now, the first year is 6%. So R1 is 6%. R2 is not given. So that's what we have to find. Let's start. So hopefully, again, I have to tell you to try this on your own, but if you can't get it, or if you want to check that you're right, we're going to do it here. Hopefully you'll remember the formula that I taught you a couple of videos ago. When there are different interest rates, the formula becomes this. P times 1 plus R1 by 100 raised to the T1 times 1 plus R2 by 100 raised to the T2, and you can continue that, make it 1 plus R3 by 100 raised to the T3 if there is more than 2 interest rates. But here we only have 2, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's start. I know that the amount is 11,342. I know the principal is 10,000. I know that my first rate is 6%, and it was for 1 year, so I don't need to write anything on top. Now, the second rate, I don't really have space here, so I'm just going to write it down here. 1 plus, I'll leave it as R2 by 100. And I also know that this was for 1 year, so I don't need to mention that. So I'll do this on the next page so it's clear. 11,342. Now this 10,000 I will bring onto the other side. I'll divide both sides by 10,000. So 10,000 comes here. This is equal to 1 plus 6 by 100 is just 106 by 100 times I don't know this, so I'll leave it as it is. 1 plus R2 by 100. Okay? So what I will do is I'll just write this one more time with a small change, times 100 divided by 106. This is equal to, again, 1 plus R2 by 100. So ready to divide. And moving on, I'll divide this by 2, 53, this by 2, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, so at this point, I have a feeling that 5, 6, 7, 1 should be just by 53. And I think it is. I'm just going to do it on the side here. What is the number? 5, 6, 7, 1. Divided by 53. 1 minus 53. 3, 7, 1. I think 53 times 7. 7s are 21. 30, 71. Okay, so it works. So this is 1 and this is 17. Okay, do this on the next page now. Actually, I don't really, just need to do the last bit. 17 is equal to 1 plus R2 by 100. That's strange. Did I miss something? Oh yes, I forgot the extra 100, yes. Okay, there we go, now it makes sense. 17 by 100 is, yeah, that's right, Okay, so, what I'll do here is I'll multiply all the numbers by 100, so that gives me 17 is equal to, so, oops, looks like I made a mistake. Yeah, I think my division was off. Let me go back there. Let's do it again. What was my number? 5, 6, 7, 1. Divided by 53, 1, 37. Ah, yes, here. I forgot the 0. Well, so it's 107, not 17. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Just fix that here. 107. 10. Okay, that's bad. I'll fix it. 107. 107 is equal to 100 plus R2, yay. So 7 is equal to R2. Okay, so you'll notice here that I actually made a pretty big mistake and pretty silly mistake, but so you should have gotten a feel for the fact that if it was 17, you could have never gotten a sensible answer. You would have got a completely wrong and probably negative answer, I believe. So if there's going to be times when you write, when you're going to end up with something that doesn't make sense, and you should just go back, check your work, look at it calmly, and you'll be alright. It happens to all of us, don't worry about it. Okay, so 7% was my answer. Let's check out another question. Let me just clear this. Okay, so many questions, they have a relation between compound interest and simple interest. And most questions of this type, they'll say that compound interest minus simple interest is given as some amount of money, okay? So let's just call it, let's say it's 500. This is, I don't even know if this is possible, but let's just say it is. So there's a really nice there's a really nice formula you can use if the time is given as 2 years. Okay, so if they say that the time is 2 years, then and they say that the compound interest minus simple interest is some amount of money, there's a really nice formula you can use. So I'll derive it here. Also remember one thing. Why can't they give you a question where they say compound interest minus simple interest for just 1 year? So you should think about it. And the reason is because for a single year, compound interest and simple interest, they'll both be the same for the first year. So if they only ask you for 1 year, then the difference should just be 0, which is why they can't ask such a question. Okay, anyway, back to this topic. So I know that the formula for compound interest is P 1 plus R by 100. And remember, this only applies in case of 2 years, so I'm going to put that 2 right here. Minus P into R into 2 by 100. So basically, I don't know anything. All I did was I substituted 2, and here, okay, I'm just going to continue with this. So first thing to do is, so just keep going. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take P common. So just write this as 100 plus R by 100. The whole thing is by 100, remember? Squared minus 1 minus 2R divided by 100. Yeah, close the bracket. Okay. So we have something here that may not be very clear, but we are going to make it. Just a minute. The next step here to draw some information out of this is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this P is still common, but now this is 100 plus R squared divided by 100, 10,000, okay, by 10,000, minus 1, minus, again, what do I have, 2R divided by 100. So all I did here was I expanded the 100 square. This was 100 square, I just made it 10,000. That's all I've done so far. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the top. So 100, this is just a plus b whole square. So I know that a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So I'm just going to do that here. 100 square plus r square, and 2ab is just going to be 200r by 10,000. And what I'm going to do here is the 1 is going to become minus 10,000 and minus 200r by 10,000. So all I've done here is I've expanded everything I have, and I have I've got a common denominator for everything. And now you're going to see something really interesting. So pretty much, or most of the things, they cancel. So this cancels with this. This plus 200r cancels with this. So all I'm left with is r squared. So let me just finish this. What I end up with is something really, really interesting. I have the p from the outside. I've got an r square in the inside. And I've got 10,000 down here. So this is a really useful formula, and you're actually allowed to use it.
So this can also be written as P times R by 100 whole square. So this is actually a really cool formula, and it's really useful. You're allowed to use it in the boards, but remember, this only works if the time is given as 2 years. And let me mention one last time what this is. This is actually compound interest minus simple interest for 2 years only. If it's 1 year, then compound interest minus simple interest will just be 0. If it's 3 years, then this formula doesn't apply. Okay, so this formula is great. Remember it, use it, but remember only 2 years. You can only use it for that special case. Okay, so let's try out a compound interest question using this formula. And you're going to see that we can try to do it both ways, using the formula and without the formula, and you'll still get the same answer. But the formula is way easier, trust me. So I'm not going to bother with a whole word problem. I'm just going to give you some values. Say, let's say my compound interest minus simple interest is equal to, this is just going to be 1 rupee, okay? I'm going to say the rate that I'm going to give you is 5%. And the time is going to be 2 years. That's the minimum, okay? 2 years. So find the principal for me. Okay? So again, I cannot stress how important it is to try these questions out, take a piece of paper, solve them, or try to solve them at the very least, and then come back. Okay, I'm going to continue. Clear a few more pages so that we have space to write. And let's start. So my formula is P1 plus R by 100, then trace of T minus P into R into T divided by, divided by 100. Okay, so let's start. Remember, we don't know what the principal is. We gotta find that. So I'll leave that here for now. My rate is 5, so 1 plus 5 by 100. Time is 2, minus P again, minus P times 5 times 2 by 100. Okay, let's do this quick. P times 105 by 100 squared minus P minus 10P, 10 times P by 100. So I can start canceling some stuff off now. So that's just P by 10. Okay, and I'll do that same thing here. This is 21, this is 20. I divided by both sides by 5. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. P times 441 by 400, right? 21 by 20 squared, yep. Minus P by 10. Okay. Obviously, alright, I forgot to add my last thing. Since all of these equations are basically Ci minus Si, we have to put in our value, right? That's 1. So I'll add that right here. This is all equal to 1, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to I'm going to multiply all these terms by 400 so that I end up with no denominator. So this just becomes 441 times P minus 400 times P minus 40 times P is equal to 1. This one became 40 because 400 divided by 10, that's already there. so let's finish this. 441 minus 400p is 41p minus 40p. So that's just 1p. So p is equal to rupees 1. That's interesting. Let's see. Ah, yes, another silly mistake, but luckily one that wasn't too costly. When I multiplied everything by 400, I forgot to multiply the 1 by 400. So mistakes can be everywhere, remember? That's 400, which makes this final answer 400. Yay. Okay, great. We're gonna do a couple more, and then we'll be